What if you could build a business that gives you the life of freedom you deserve? What if you could find the secrets to marketing, leadership, customer service, and other aspects of business that help you exceed your goals? What if you could walk away from your business for 30 days and it never misses a beat? That's what this podcast is for, to help business leaders like you find freedom from the day-to-day grind and start spending your time doing the things you love. I'm Levi McClendon, and my co-host is Josh Taylor, and this is the Cheers to Freedom podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Cheers to Freedom podcast. I am your host, Josh Taylor. I'm with my co-host, Levi McClendon. Levi, you get to be home. I'm traveling, so I'm hosting this from my hotel room today.
Reversed roles. I almost didn't recognize you in that shirt of yours, that beautiful button down.
You can tell I'm traveling because it's all wrinkled.
Steamers in those rooms, don't they, Josh?
No, I did the whole trick where you put it in the bathroom and then turn the hot water all the way on and just kind of leave it there. So it did work a little bit, but I don't feel like ironing it.
I was just take a spray bottle, just wet it down, shake it out, good to go.
No, that's what I did with my other shirt that I spilled coffee on.
I'm not sure I've ironed anything in 15 years.
Do you wear anything that needs to be ironed? You don't iron t-shirts.
That's a good point.
Well, hey, I have a question for you. We have a couple of holidays that are coming up. We're coming into the summer season. We've got Mother's Day coming up. We've got Memorial Day coming up. What opportunities do those bring for customers or listeners that are listening that have been building a text club?
Yeah, great question, Josh. Like you said, we're just rolling into a great transition period, right? Where we're getting into summertime. And the whole point, Josh, of building a database, well, there's a few different points, right? The whole point is to get people in there and convert them to members. But even if you have your members and they're in a club, or even you have these big databases, a lot of times our customers want to know, is it just to give away this free wash to get them in here and convert them? And the answer is no. We take that free wash as that lead magnet, right? We want to get them into your list, but now what are you doing to engage and connect with them? And what are some different creative ideas that you can do? And we feel like this transition period into summertime is such a great idea, or a great time really to engage with your customers and offer some type of a creative, maybe like it's summertime, maybe a summer survival kit, right? Yeah. Like instead of just, hey, come in for, $5 off or $10 off or what have you, utilize this list and get creative, put together a little kit. Doesn't need to be anything super expensive, and could even be a few bucks. But the fact that you're able to engage and connect with your database and say, hey, it's summertime, protect that car, come in, be the first of 200 to come in and get a survival kit today for this weekend. Yeah. And so that's just one idea as far as maybe as summer is approaching and the sun's going to be bright and hot. People want to protect their cars. What does that look like? Interior and exterior. So utilize that database for those types of calls to action.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity to talk about the problem that you solve as a car wash. You're getting into the summertime, down here in Florida, it gets hot. July gets really hot. And so that sun and that heat is beating down on your car. So you can call it the summer car survival package, and it is maybe 3 months of unlimited washes for a certain, maybe it's 3 for $30 or something like that. But don't just call it 3 for $30. Call it what it is and talk about the problem it solves and the benefit that it brings to you, because it's going to grab people's attention. A lot of car washes just run a unlimited offer over and over and over again, and maybe they don't even end it sometimes. They always have a get your first month for $5 kind of deal, and that doesn't create a sense of urgency in the customer's mind. But if you can run these flash sales every now and then, but when I say that word flash sale, it brings another question. Do we always have to discount?
Absolutely not. Yeah, no, you do not have to discount, Josh. I know that is a question that comes up a lot. And I think you just saying solving a customer's problem is not discounting. Right. So when you come in and say, we actually solve your problem, people are willing to pay for that. They're willing to come in for that. They want to come in and protect their car. And I was thinking something that you said about being creative in an offer and solving that problem instead of always the offer is huge. And I'm guilty of this. It's, you know, when you start in marketing, you read about the numbers, what makes sense. Is it 99 or 100, right? Is
Yeah.
it, you know, what's the verbiage that we're using, and what is the offer always? And I love that you brought up that point of, guys, this isn't always the offer. It's not a discount. It's how are you helping me survive? How am
Yes.
I going to survive this summer? How are you making my life easier? That doesn't always need a discount. You just
Yeah.
need to tell me clearly, how is this going to help me take care of my car? To me, it's protection of the car, man. You know, being in Florida, I'm from Arizona. Those rays are real.
Yeah. And they will mess
and,
up your car's
and
paint.
they'll mess up the paint, they mess up the dash. I mean, they jack it up.
Yeah.
So when we can get in and actually put a little salt in the wound, right? We want to
Mhm.
create a little pain of, hey, this is what could happen. Make sure that we're protecting that. So what is that message that we're able to get to the customer to actually solve that problem? And absolutely, you're going to drive traffic that way because you're solving that problem. So that's a great point.
Yeah, and so these are what we call, if you're not going to discount, add a bonus or a premium, and these premiums are things that you can use to sweeten the deal. You just said putting salt in that wound, what we call agitating the problem, and
Yeah.
really almost kind of hitting below the belt of here's what this problem is doing for you. You've paid a lot of money for this car, and now you're letting the sun just tear it up, and that's a great way to explain what your ceramic wax does, or some of your higher level washes can do for them as well. But when you add in these premiums, and these premiums can be like a interior dash kit, to armor all the dash, and I say armor all like it's a verb, but it's a brand, but to protect the dash with the
Right.
with the shine. You can do Windex or whatever kit that you have. Or my realtor, when they sold us our house, they gave us these towels that have their logo on it, and we moved down here to the beach, so they gave us like a little beach kit, and it came with these two really nice towels that had their logo, and then a little plastic beach pail and shovel for Noble. And honestly, those towels are the only towels I use because they're oversized and they're soft. And it was a nice surprise and delight. But you could do like the first 200 people today get our summer beach kit, and it could have like your stuff with your logo in it that they could use at the beach. Again, it doesn't have to be things that cost you a lot of money, but in the end, if you can get those customers in, you've collected their phone number. Maybe you're going to spend $5 or $6 on the first 200, but that 5 or 6 hundred, that $5 or $6 could turn into a 240, 250,
Yeah.
$400 value customer because they convert to a monthly member.
Convert to a member. When you know the lifetime value, right, you're willing to spend the money. And
Yeah.
so if it is something that's going to drive traffic to your wash, that then eventually, like you said, and Josh, you talked about, offering maybe this summer survival kit for, maybe it's $9.99 and you get 3 months of unlimited washes.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah, and you can absolutely do that, right? But you can also just promote this kit for sign up. Like,
Yeah.
so you don't have to even discount it. This could be that premium that you're saying, get this summer survival kit, sign up now. Be the first 100 to sign up and get this survival kit.
Absolutely.
So that's going out to that marketing, that marketing list that you have. Those are the non-members that you have that you want to try to drive traffic and make it make it a limited offer and a
Yeah.
limited time offer to be able to drive that traffic. When I was just a comment here, I actually took a picture of it. I don't know if you're going to show this or not, if I can find it here, but I was in Lowe's the other day and there was a stack of Armor All kits, like it's just a big stack. And I thought, how cool would it be to buy a bunch of those kits like that, stack them up the way that Lowe's did, right? Create a little buzz around it. And that way people even ask, like, how do I get those? Or what is that about? And it was basically my thought process was, hey, buy a membership, get a kit.
Yeah.
And there's a limit. You could see how many there are. And maybe that would, possibly push somebody over the top, or at least say, hey, for the summertime, this is something that I need to do. And it might get people to move. And the beautiful thing, Josh, is this. The drip campaign. So a lot of people, let me just sit back 1 second. I'm going to talk Groupon for just a minute. I want to address that a lot of people are hesitant to get people to give them offers, right? To get them in the door. And I understand that. the Grouponers back in the day, I don't use Groupon now. I don't know if you do, Josh. I don't know the last time
I don't
we,
think I've ever used Groupon. My wife
okay,
did
when
though.
it first came out, I used Groupon a lot early on, 10, 15 years ago, whenever it came out. The problem with Groupon that I saw was it was the discounters. It was the people going to Groupon, and there was never a exchange of customer data. There was never a phone
Right.
number exchange. There was never an email. It was like, hey, you become a discounter, right? So if you're a restaurant and you used Groupon, you're going to have to continue to use Groupon to get people back in. And that was
Right.
kind of the, theme behind that. And people started getting frustrated because Groupon wasn't giving them any data. That is completely 180 of what we do. So if we're giving away that freebie and getting an exchange of phone number, that's the value in obviously the gift or the lost leader that you're doing. And once you have that number, now you're able to then re-engage with that person. And
Yeah.
so to me, it's a lot different. And I just, for whatever reason, that popped in my head on that Groupon because we do talk about a free wash. We talk about premiums. We talk about offers, but you never do it without getting something in return.
Absolutely.
And that makes what we're doing today, these summer survival kits. These, we talk about Zach, our resident wash owner, who did the Easter egg surprise and delight for Easter, right? Another holiday that he was able to send out a blast, and he had lines down the street because he was doing this surprise. Hey, check out, you get a free Easter egg. Could be $1, could be 25 cents. It could be, I think he gave away maybe $500, right?
Cards.
Yeah. Could be anything. But without that database, Josh, without having that list in the first place,
those people would have never shown
he would have never been able to do that.
Absolutely. Well, and the premiums work. You go back to, I remember in the 90s and 80s, Sports Illustrated, when they were going bankrupt, they did this huge Christmas promotion, and it wasn't a discount on the magazine, it was a free football phone. And that saved Sports Illustrated. That kept Sports Illustrated out of bankruptcy. When you got a Sports Illustrated subscription, you got a free football phone. And a lot of people listening probably remember that. A lot of people may even have that or have had that football phone. But they absolutely work. So going back to what you saw at Lowe's with the Armor All kit, if the first 100 people or first 200 people that sign up, you're going to get a free kit. People will sign up for things just to get the free premium.
Yeah,
and it doesn't have to be something expensive. That football phone was probably $12. It doesn't have to be something outrageously expensive, but people will sign up just to get the premium, and it works. So the way that I would do it, go ahead.
Josh, real quick, something I kind of lost my train of thought of where I was going with that Groupon thing, but here's where I think the real power of follow-up becomes. If you do something during the holiday coming up, Memorial Day, Mother's Day, whatever that looks like, and you use OpSpot, those customers that do sign up, even if you did discount it, right? Or even if there was this premium, the beautiful thing of that, Josh, is you have that continued follow up with that customer. Yeah. And so in the past, if you sign somebody up, like I said, with Groupon, they came in, there's no re-engagement. You're not connecting with that person. You're not inviting them back in. And that's where, to me, that real power becomes, yes, give them that kit, that Armor All kit, the summer survival kit, whatever that looks like. Do something for mom, for Mother's Day, right? Do an offer. But make sure you're engaging and you have that retention drip campaign set up so that you're continuing to engage with them and create that habit of washing their car as much as they want so that they don't want to quit. That's the goal, is to have them wash it enough to where they don't want to quit. Sorry, I just wanted to...
That's what we do, is we write these campaigns. So you're not Planet Fitness. You don't get people to sign up for a gym membership and then hope they never show up. If you can get these people that sign up for a membership to show up once a week to wash their car, they're getting the value of that membership. And the more value they get from that membership, the longer they're going to stay a member. And that's why we write the retention campaigns. And we custom write those for our customers to get those members showing back up after they've become a member. So that's the difference between what we do and what a lot of just texting platforms have, because we want to make sure those people come back. This whole conversation came out of a conversation that I had with a customer who emailed us and asked us what our thoughts on. They were going to put together a promotion for the summertime. They weren't really titling it anything for the summertime. It was just going to be they're doing a grand opening actually this weekend, and then they're going to do a promotion leading into the summertime. and he wanted to run ads for their promotion on social media. And they've already built, they're not even open yet, and they've already built a database of thousands of people before they're even open, because we've been running their digital ads and already have their website live and all those things. And so my response to him was, ads are going to be more expensive the closer you get to the holidays. I would continue to run your free wash ads that we're doing with Stacy and her team, but then that's what your text club is for. Now that you've got thousands of people in there, let's send them an MMS message with an image, and I'm going to get you to tell us what an MMS message is in just a second. But let's send them this message because you get 500 characters to put in there. You can put an image in with it, make it a really great offer, and let's again talk about the problem that it solves. This is our summer car survival package. Get all 3 months of the summer, or keep your car protected all summer long for, I think they're doing $10 a month for the first 3 months. So that's what we do. Now, there's a difference between an SMS and an MMS message. People have heard of SMS. Many people maybe not know what an MMS is. We can send both, but there is a difference. So can you explain to us what that difference is real quick?
Yeah, for sure. And then Josh, I want you to go back and answer that question not really answer the question, but on digital. And you touched on it on as far as, do we do the digital ads and how much versus obviously utilizing that SMS. But I want to make sure that that you have, I mean, you've gone to Stacy, right? And talked to our expert in the space to say, hey, do we pump up the volume during these times? And maybe you covered that, but do you, Josh, did you say you put in more money during these times, or you don't, you just let it ride and you really?
So when a customer comes to me and says, hey, we want to spend more money on ads, but we want it to be a promotional offer, my answer to them is, if you have that in the budget to spend that money, I would double down on your free wash opt-in. Ads are going to be more expensive the closer you get to holidays because everybody's running ads. And so, social media and digital ads just get ramped up at that point. So, but if you're going to spend that money, I would not spend the money on your promotional offer. I would spend the money on getting more people into your text club. So double down on those ads, and then build that, because the people that are in your text club, those are warmer leads than what you're going to find on social media because they've already engaged with you. Some of them have already even shown up to your wash and experienced your wash. So now you text those people. That's thousands of people that you have a direct audience with, and text message still has a 97% open rate. And you hit those people up with your promotional offer. That's where I would concentrate my energy.
Yeah, and maybe take that extra money, instead of putting it towards ads, do those premiums, maybe even spend some money there, and then spend it on the existing list that you have. So, all right. Absolutely. So real quick, SMS versus MMS. SMS, short message service, right? So that is what everyone's used to. It's what we started with years ago, and it's 160 characters or less. And there's no images. You could put a link in there. You can click on a link, and then it takes you somewhere else, which is totally fine. And that's where, if you wanted to actually say more, maybe post that on your social media and then link to your social media. And that's one way to get around having to do an MMS. But MMS is great because it stands for multimedia service. And so that allows for images, and it allows for a lot more characters. And so you can say more, you can do emojis, you can make it more personalized, put your logo in there. And we see a lot of our customers doing that these days, which is great because it comes across on your phone immediately as the visual. And obviously when we see something, we can, what do they say? A picture's worth 1,000 words. Yeah. So it's super easy to see what that is instead of just that plain text. Now, just for our listeners and customers, MMS is a little more expensive because it does require more for the handsets to receive those. But I think it's worth it a lot of times. If you are going to do something during the holiday and you want to have a really sweet image that really conveys what that offer is or premium is that you're trying to do, then I highly recommend going with an MMS message.
Absolutely. If you're doing a premium, that's a great opportunity to show a picture, like you said, of the kits stacked up and showing them what they're going to get when they come in and sign up for a membership.
Absolutely. And the other thing, Josh, that I want to bring to the table, and I'm not sure that we talk about this a lot, but in that, people will do what you ask them to do, right? Yeah. So what I would also make sure that I'm doing in those messages is I would say, share this with a friend, especially when it's an offer like this where it's, hey, it's a survival kit or it's a premium, and you're going to really give it to anybody that comes into your wash. You don't care if they've had the text or not. Your goal is to sign up as many members as you can. So what if you send it out to 5,000 people and told those 5,000 people, hey, please forward this to 5 of your friends. Forward this to your friends. Let other people know. And all of a sudden that 5,000 turns into 10,000 people actually receiving this message. So don't be afraid and don't forget to invite people to actually help you out by forwarding messages. It's super easy for them to do. They have contacts in the area, and if the premium's good enough, they then kind of look like the hero and say, hey, check this out. They're doing this at this wash. And now it's something that, people love to give. They love to give back. They love to share good things with their friends. But you got to ask them, because it's not the first thing on our mind is not to share, it's to survive. And so in this case, oh yeah, I can share with my friends, and we can really extend the coverage of your existing database.
Yeah. Well, just to show you how these flash, not to show you because but for our listeners out there, one of our customers texted, he ran a flash sale over 3 days. He signed up 612 new members in 3 days. He said it increased a ton of traffic to their site. He texted this flash sale, obviously, to their text club. They followed it up with another promotion that created more steady traffic. And then he said, the steady traffic and the increase in our text club, he said we washed 1,000 cars at one location today, and it was a Tuesday. It just blew his mind. And so there's the power of the offer, but just make sure that in the name of your offer, give it a title that tells it the problem that it solves. Make it irresistible. Make it something that people want, and it's not just your 3 months for $10 kind of thing. Be creative with it. Let's have fun with it. Like you said, summertime is a transition season. Summertime is a great time to promote things because it's such a fun opportunity with what comes with the summer. And Memorial Day is the unofficial beginning of summer. So I would begin to put together your offer and then run it for just a few days. Don't run it forever because there is no sense of urgency. I feel like a month is probably too long. Or if you're going to do a premium, just have it on a Saturday or a Friday or maybe even a slow day, and like Easter, because a lot of people are probably not going and thinking about washing their car on Easter Sunday, but if there is an offer that you've told them, hey, the first 200 people that show up are going to get this, it's going to create some traffic. The first 200 people that sign up for a membership get this, it's going to create traffic, and you're really going to be able to build on that momentum.
Yeah, Josh, I want to touch on one other way to use your text database to drive traffic and oftentimes, and it doesn't need to even be during seasons. But if you should know your slow days. You just talked about Tuesdays. Usually Tuesdays are pretty slow from what I understand, but everyone's a little different depending on the region that you're in. But if you know that Tuesdays are slow and you're just trying to pick up traffic, then, I come from the restaurant space prior to the car washes. Restaurants were obviously very competitive, and so you're always trying to, there's a restaurant everywhere on every corner, and so you're trying to vie for that traffic and get people in. And so, for instance, like on Tuesdays, right, you'd have, say, Taco Tuesday. In this case, I might do like if you're running our loyalty program, you can do 2-point Tuesday. And so maybe on Tuesdays, and you remind people that, hey, you get 2 loyalty points if you visit us on Tuesdays, and that can be set up and automated. Or maybe you do a happy hour, right? Take learn from the restaurants during those happy hour periods, because they do happy hour because they're slow during that time and they want people to come in, and it spreads out the time for everybody else that they're going to have at dinner time. So I don't hear a lot of people talk about that, but I don't want to forget about that, because you have a database. You can easily remind people if you're trying to drive some traffic, even before the weekends when it's going to get hammered, which is good. But if you want to bump up some of your other days, run those text blast and say, hey man, from 3 to 5 or whatever that time is, you get half off any wash or $5 wash, because it is going to drive traffic, and it helps you, of course, pay the people. You got people that are going to be there anyway. So you might as well try to, fill your tunnels as much as you can. So just some other ideas that came to my head as we're talking about trying to drive traffic to your wash.
And maybe it's a secret. Maybe it's not something that you advertise except to your text club. So now you're making some exclusivity with your text club and giving them a reason to be in the text club and stay in the text club. So, if you do a happy hour or 2 Point Tuesdays or something like
Yep.
that. It's only for the text club. The only way they're going to know about it is being in your text club, and create that exclusivity.
Josh, real quick, that brought up one of our customers. It's been a long time, but they had a gas station, right? And a lot of competition, and they would always post their gas prices. As you see, gas prices, gas companies every day, they post their price up on the big billboard of what their price is. But they would have a text only exclusive price. And so they wouldn't post it up on the board for their competition to see or anything. They would send out a text and say, here's our prices today. And you had to show the text to get that price. And I thought that was pretty clever, because now you want to be a part of that club. And maybe it is something that the club, your text club, offers, and they're the only ones who actually get to participate, which makes them feel kind of special. So that was years ago, but it worked really well for them. So
yeah, love that. That's a great idea. So hopefully this is helpful to the folks that are listening as these opportunities come up with Mother's Day, Memorial Day, Labor Day. Those are the ones that are, July 4th. Start thinking about what are some ways that we can sweeten the deal. And again, it doesn't have to be a discount. Maybe do an upgrade or a bonus or a premium or something like that you can package with it. Or like you said, just talk about the problem that you solve and make it obvious to people why they need to purchase this. I don't think about my car getting torn up in the summertime just because it's sitting outside. Those are things that people aren't thinking about, but you solve that problem for them and they will buy. When they understand the problem they have and you're the solution to it, then they will buy from you. So this is a great opportunity, and using offers, and this is a great way to get in front of those text club customers to get them in and get them using your wash. So
absolutely,
Levi, great episode.
Appreciate it, man. Good to see you.
It's been a little while, so we're going to get back into the routine of getting these things out more often. But man, it's been busy. If you're going to be at the ICA show in May, it's May 1st, but if you're going to be at the car wash show, come by and see us at our booth, and also text the word cheers to 411365. That's cheers to 411365, and you will get updated when a new podcast comes out. And if you haven't signed up for the Freedom Summit and you're an OpSpot customer, we really encourage you to be there and be a part of that. If you enjoyed the conversation today, you're going to hear a lot more of these kind of things at the Freedom Summit, along with some really great things as well that Levi, you've been working on. So
I have, and I am so excited about the data that we have, Josh. We have millions of records now that we're putting together. We've made this a priority of ours to be able to see what is really working, what is not working. A lot of questions out there, guys, that are about like, hey, if we run this offer for this flash sale, or we did this, is it really worth it, right? Are we going to have just a ton of attrition? How long do they last? Well, we're actually able to pull that data, and it's really exciting to be able to share with our customers whether this stuff works or not. We can all speculate as much as we want, but to actually have data that supports it is huge. And then be able to put fuel on the fire in the areas that it really is making a difference. And so those are the things that we have now that we're coming out with. They're very exciting. And yes, when we at that Freedom Summit, man, there's going to be a lot of talk about what works, what doesn't work, and then more importantly, we've always talked about, Josh, those connections. And when you have like-minded people in the same room together and you're hanging out for a few days together, that's where the real magic happens, is in those relationships. And so we don't want you to miss out on that. So that will be in November of this year in Cancun, which is super exciting, and an all-inclusive resort. But super excited. So make sure you take a look at the Freedom Summit information. It's on our website at opspot.com. You can go there, top of the page. You'll see the Freedom Summit. Check that out.
Cool. All right. Well, hey, Levi, awesome. Until next time.
Cheers to freedom, my friend.